instilling skills and values through nautical and allied training. The Sea Cadet Corps now boasts of 10 units across the country. The Corps' more than 40,000 ex-cadets are today productive and caring citizens of our great country, shining in a number of diverse fields and professions, including the Indian Armed Forces and the Merchant Marine.
And as the marching contingent continues to delight the thousands of Mumbaikars and tourists crowding the seawall, opposite the many stately homes that make up this part of the famous Mumbai seafront, let me once again welcome each one of you to this evening's beating retreat and tattoo ceremonies, as your presence en masse this evening demonstrates the living proof of resilience of our city and the never-say-die spirit of our country and our navy.
The term beating retreat comes from the beating of the drums in a particular way and at a particular cadence to send out a particular signal. This ceremony is over 450 years old and is firmly set within the historic traditions that have been built around what is arguably mankind's oldest organized activity, namely war. The original call of retreat was beaten by drums alone, and it was some time before that fifers were added to play tunes. A fife is a small, high-pitched transverse flute similar to a piccolo. With the passage of time, the bugle and other musical instruments were added as accompaniment.
देवियों और सज्जनों, कृपया अपने मोबाइल फोन्स एयरप्लेन मोड में रखें और तस्वीरें खींचते समय बैठे रहें।
As the borders of kingdoms expanded beyond their shorelines, the tradition of sounding the drums became a tradition for showcasing the armed forces on ceremonial occasions. In India, the 4th of December is celebrated as Navy Day, and hence is considered an apt occasion for the ceremony of beating retreat. Since the practice of lowering the ensign at sunset is universal across the armed forces, the beating retreat ceremony traditionally culminates with sunset.
As India gained her independence in 1947 and then transformed in 1950 into a vibrant and democratic republic, the abiding value of military tradition was both recognized and acknowledged. As a consequence, over the past 6 decades and more, the ceremony of beating retreat has been established as an integral part of the military tradition of India and is today a much anticipated tri-services spectacle, performed every year in New Delhi by the mass bands of the Indian Army, the Indian Navy, and the Indian Air Force.
Ladies and gentlemen, we once again welcome you all to witness the most poignant amongst the myriad historic traditions of the armed forces, the beating retreat and tattoo ceremonies. I would once again request all serving personnel in uniform to remain seated with P-caps donned throughout today's ceremony. The audience is requested to make use of the trash bins kept at convenient locations of the venue. Water bottles, etc. are to be disposed of into those bins while leaving the venue after the program. As you can hear from the growing sounds of martial music, the naval band and the marching contingents have almost arrived and are now assembling just outside the plaza.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the Indian Navy marching band as they make a grand entrance into this historic plaza accompanied by the cadets of Sea Cadet Corps. Let me once again draw your attention to the flags and standards of the Republic of India, the white ensign of Indian Navy, and the flags of the city of Mumbai, the Sea Cadet Corps, and this evening's host organization, the Western Naval Command.
Ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together once again for the Indian Naval Band. And now, ladies and gentlemen, if you look up towards your right, emerging from the sky are the Indian Naval Chetak helicopters to commence the operational demonstration. The INAS 321 Fleet Support Squadron, affectionately addressed as Angels, aptly named these Angels of Mercy, are attested by the innumerable lives they have saved in search and rescue missions or in prompt evacuation of casualty from the battlefield. Ladies and gentlemen, the Chetak helicopters will now showcase the process of recovering survivors at sea. As you can see, ladies and gentlemen, the Chetaks are lowering their trained divers into the water, who will then proceed to rescue the survivor at sea in an actual situation. As you can see now, the diver is being reeled back into the aircraft using its rescue winch. As you have just witnessed, ladies and gentlemen, the helicopters carried out spot turns, quickly changing their direction 360 degrees twice. This amazing capability of an helicopter is what sets it apart from a fixed-wing aircraft.
Ladies and gentlemen, can we have a huge round of applause for the brave men for such an immaculate display of dexterity in saving lives in peril at sea?
As you have seen, rotary wing aircraft, being versatile and unique in their capabilities, are the most suitable for search and rescue and other such operations. Their unique capability of hovering, that is remaining stationary at a spot, is exploited in vertical replenishment of men and material, casualty evacuation, anti-submarine warfare, and insertion and extraction of special forces into and from enemy hotspots.
Next in line are the hulking giants, the Sea King Mark 42 Bravo anti-submarine warfare helicopters from INAS 330, as they will showcase the evergreen dunk maneuver. These giant balls of steel will recover to hover at a height of mere 50 feet from the water surface. We will now lower the sonar body, which is underwater gears used by the naval air operations officers on board the aircraft to detect the lurking submarines in the depths of the ocean. No wonder an ASW helicopter is the most potent enemy of a hiding submarine.
As you can see, ladies and gentlemen, emerging from the aircraft is the brightly colored sonar dome, which aids in detection of the ever-elusive submarine, which can then be engaged with multiple ASW weapons carried on board, such as the depth charge and torpedoes. Let me add, ladies and gentlemen, the helicopters are using all of their engine power during this particular maneuver, which I'm sure will be vouched by the crowds feeling the massive downwash of the rotor blades. There is no room for error. Well, that's just another day in the life of an anti-submarine warfare crew.
Ladies and gentlemen, can we have a huge round of applause for the brave men for a fantastic display of professionalism and alacrity.
We shall now witness a spectacular simulation by the daring Advanced Light Helicopter. It will incorporate a heli-borne ingress, a tactical insertion of a covert ops team. Ladies and gentlemen, can we have a huge round of applause for the indigenous Advanced Light Helicopter Mark III. Ladies and gentlemen, I would like to direct your attention towards the screen. As you can see, a small Gemini is ready to induct the Marcos and it's taking its position below the ALH at hover. Slithering is the technique in which the Marine commandos are lowered down from the helicopter into a hostile environment via a rope. It needs tremendous strength and courage to pull off such a heroic act. Emerging from the helo is one prahar of the Indian Naval Marine Commandos or the Marcos slithering into the water as the first part of their mission. Let me add, ladies and gentlemen, the Marcos are fast roping down from a height of over 50 feet.
And that, ladies and gentlemen, completes the successful insertion of the Marcos Prahar. As you can imagine, it's not easy, this slithering business. It needs speed, strength, agility, tremendous focus and courage beyond measure. The lives are at stake, but the never say die attitude is a core attribute of the Marine Commandos. It is no wonder that they are revered amongst the most elite special forces in the world.
Can we have a huge round of applause for the brave Marcos and the air crew for an excellent display of courage and military tactics.
As we await the arrival of the chief host, let me explain the difference between the ceremonies of the beating retreat and the tattoo. The beating of retreat recalled troops from the battlefield and into their billeting area. The tattoo, on the other hand, was a beating of drums within the billeting area that ordered troops to proceed to their quarters. Over the years, the tattoo has been enriched by the inclusion of traditional folk and contemporary sounds and movements. Rather than remaining static within purely martial bounds, this strictly military form of pageantry has in many cases acquired distinctive celebratory features, becoming more of a musical festival. आइए हमारे मुख्य अतिथि के बारे में थोड़ा जान लेते हैं। आज के हमारे विशेष अतिथि हैं श्री रमेश बैस। इनका जन्म 2 अगस्त 1947 को रायपुर छत्तीसगढ़ में हुआ था। वे एक भारतीय राजनीतिज्ञ हैं और वर्तमान में फरवरी 2023 से महाराष्ट्र के 23वें राज्यपाल हैं। इससे पहले वे झारखंड और त्रिपुरा के राज्यपाल रह चुके हैं।
Ladies and gentlemen, please rise for the chief guest, Shri Ramesh Bhaise, the Honorable Governor of Maharashtra. You are requested to remain standing for the national anthem which will follow. Uniformed personnel are required to salute during the national anthem.
देवियों और सज्जनों, मुख्य अतिथि पहुंच चुके हैं। आप सबसे अनुरोध है कि अपनी जगह पर खड़े हो जाएं। राष्ट्रगान के दौरान वर्दीधारी अधिकारी से निवेदन है कि वे सैल्यूट करें।
Ladies and gentlemen, the national anthem.
Ladies and gentlemen, please be seated. अब हम बढ़ते हैं संगीतमय समापन समारोह, बीटिंग रिट्रीट और सूर्यास्त विधि सनसेट सेरेमनी की ओर। कृपया स्वागत कीजिए भारतीय नौसेना बैंड का, जिसका नेतृत्व कर रहे हैं मास्टर चीफ पेटी ऑफिसर एंड म्यूजिशियन सेकंड क्लास एम एंथनी राज।
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the world-famous Indian Naval Band, which is being led by Drum Major, Master Chief Petty Officer and musician second class M. Anthony Raj, twirling his mace like a true maestro. Ladies and gentlemen, with the poignant tunes of Abide With Me, we have come to the end of the beating retreat ceremony.
देवियों और सज्जनों, आप सबसे अनुरोध है कि सूर्यास्त विधि के लिए अपने स्थान पर खड़े हो जाएं। सभी वर्दीधारी अधिकारी सैल्यूट करेंगे।
Ladies and gentlemen, you're requested to kindly rise for the sunset ceremony. Personnel in uniform are to salute. Ladies and gentlemen, sunset. Ladies and gentlemen, please be seated. Ladies and gentlemen, I would now request you to gaze to your right. Approaching the venue first for the aerial salute is the Chetak from 321 FSS with our beloved national flag and the naval ensign. The aircraft is being flown by Commander Srijit Gopal.
Chetaks are versatile, lightweight, multi-role helicopter that have been rendering yeoman service to the country for more than 6 decades. Close behind are 3 Chetaks of 321 Fleet Support Squadron in an arrowhead formation led by Commander Nitin with Commander Rahul Verma and Lieutenant Utsav commanding the 2 other birds.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the latest addition to the stables at INS Shikra, the indigenous advanced light helicopter Mark III. The Shikra ALH flight, affectionately known as the Phoenix, is being led by Phoenix leader Commander Lokesh Mathur today.
और अब फ्लाई पास्ट के आगामी भाग का प्रदर्शन करने आ रहा है कामोव 31 हेलीकॉप्टर, जिसका नेतृत्व कर रहे हैं भारतीय नौसेना पोत शिखरा के जाबाज लेफ्टिनेंट कमांडर चंद्रांशु वशिष्ठ एवं लेफ्टिनेंट कमांडर यश।
Ladies and gentlemen, following the Falcon, we have two seeking Mark 42 Bravo helicopters of the Indian Naval Air Squadron 330. Leading the formation today is Harpoon leader Commander Deepak Devan, and Harpoon 2 is commanded by Commander Bipin Panikar, Nausena Medal. These stalwarts of anti-submarine warfare are fondly denoted as the Flying Frigates, for their warfare prowess is in no way less than a frigate ship.
Ladies and gentlemen, and now the PSD Resistance, the showstopper of the air-powered demonstration this evening. Emerging from behind the gateway is a Sea King Mark 42 Charlie, commanded by Commander Yuvraj Kumar and Lieutenant Commander Atul Fatale of the Marine Commando Flight of INS Shikra for a speedy extraction of Marcos from their area of operation after a successful mission. This operation is termed as STIE, short for Small Team Insertion and Extraction. Mission well accomplished. Ladies and gentlemen, can we have a huge round of applause for the Angels, Zappers, Harpoons, Phoenix and Falcons from INS Shikra and the Marine Commandos of the Western Naval Command. देवियों और सज्जनों, आइए अब आपको हमारे शुभ्र बैंड का पुनः परिचय कराएं, जब वे एक बार फिर मंच पर उतरकर हमें उनके अद्भुत समारोह से मोहित करेंगे. Please welcome the Naval Central Band with a huge round of applause as they showcase their musical prowess with music and drill of a much more contemporary style. Ladies and gentlemen, that was surely a spectacular performance.
Can we have a huge round of applause once again? I'm sure now you know why the Indian Naval Band is famous around the world. Ladies and gentlemen, we now present before you a speechless and self-controlled military drill known as the Continuity Drill by the 22nd Missile Vessel Squadron. The valiant predecessors of these brave men unleashed the deadly attack on Karachi on the glorious night of 4th December 1971, going down in history books for all of eternity. This particular drill sequence is special as it inculcates unity of purpose and spirit de corps and self-control, values that are essential attributes of men in uniform, which is why drill is rightly considered as the bedrock of discipline. The contingent today has been trained by Master Chief Petty Officer, Gunnery Instructor First Class Madhusudan Dubey, and Leading Gunnery Instructor Krishnan, and led by Petty Officer Gunnery Instructor Sanjeet Kumar, who will pass through the formation of twirling rifles with their bayonets inflamed. At the culmination of the drill, do watch out as the platoon will form up in a figure of 52, symbolizing the 52 years of victory at sea in the 1971 war. Ladies and gentlemen, can we have a huge round of applause for these brave men?
That immaculate display of precision truly calls for a thunderous round of applause, ladies and gentlemen. देवियों और सज्जनों, अब बारी है इस खूबसूरत शाम को शानदार और यादगार बनाने की।
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome our naval band as they take to the plaza once again for the next program.
अब आपके समक्ष सी कैडेट कोर के जोशीले जिंदा दिल कैडेट्स अपना उत्साह और कौशल लेकर आ रहे हैं।
These 70 young and exuberant cadets comprising of 60 dancers and 10 drummers are going to present before you the Sailors Hornpipe Dance for accompaniment during this Irish jig so beloved of mariners of yore, as it replicates and performs various ship-based sailor tasks like climbing, rigging and hauling that a sailor would complete as part of their on-board daily duties. Please put your hands together for the cadets of the Sea Cadet Corps as they enter the plaza.
देवियों और सज्जनों, आप सबसे अनुरोध है कि तालियों की कड़कड़ाहट से सी कैडेट कोर के नन्हे जोशीले कैडेट्स का उत्साह बढ़ाएं।
Ladies and gentlemen, can we have a huge round of applause for the naval band for such a coordinated display?
Ladies and gentlemen, no tattoo ceremony can be complete without the drummers themselves. We now present the magical light tattoo drummers as they dazzle you with their drums, drill and dexterity. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the magical light tattoo drummers into the plaza. Ladies and gentlemen, can we hear it once again for these amazingly talented young men who bedazzled us with their performance?
Ladies and gentlemen, next up is the magnum opus of the evening from our band, aptly titled as Admaya Bharat. This finale will skillfully combine a medley of familiar and inspiring tunes, which will portray the indomitable spirit of our motherland and her citizens. This will be conducted by Commander Satish Champion, Director of Music, Navy, and also the director of this evening's performance. Ladies and gentlemen, can we have a huge round of applause for these brilliant performers of this evening?
देवियों और सज्जनों, आप सबसे अनुरोध है कि राष्ट्रगान के लिए खड़े हो जाएं। वर्दीधारी अधिकारी सैल्यूट करेंगे। आप सबसे नम्र निवेदन है कि सुर से सुर मिलाकर राष्ट्रगान को उत्साह और जोश से हमारे साथ गाएं।
You are requested to kindly rise for the national anthem. All personnel in uniform are to salute. And kindly remain standing until the chief guest and the chief host departs from the venue. Ladies and gentlemen, the national anthem.
Contingent! Rashtriya salute! Islamic! Sir! Contingent! Mughal! Sir!
As we come to the close of this year's beating retreat and tattoo ceremonies, may I draw your attention to the gateway and the harbour beyond, where Indian naval warships at anchorage are illuminated synchronously along with the shore establishments around us. So symbolic of the grandeur and pageantry that has been on display this wonderful evening. The magnificent silhouettes that you see are INS Chennai, which is visible through the gateway, INS Tabar, INS Trikhand, INS Vinash, INS Abhay, and INS Tarasa on the horizon. This is the Indian Navy's way of celebrating this momentous evening. Ladies and gentlemen, kindly remain standing as the chief guest departs from the venue.
Ladies and gentlemen, please be seated. We do hope that you have enjoyed the performance presented before you. We trust that these brave men find a place in your hearts as they stand guarding the seas of our country beyond the horizons that are visible from the shore. Ladies and gentlemen, on behalf of the Western Naval Command, we bid you a fond farewell from this year's ceremonies of beating retreat and the tattoo. Thank you. We request all the guests to join us for at-home function and proceed to the Navy House through Anushakti Bhavan. Do keep your at-home passes handy. We request you to